We gotta roll. It's dead towards. Shoot him!
Tucking on that 15!
Stand by to load the weapons.
Thank you.
For me, I hope everybody loves this show, but it's really important that the men and women of our military, when they watch it, that they love it. We actually got to train with a few Navy SEALs and people that are real operators or that have been. And so that was really important for us, me and my team, the actors that are on the quick reaction force, because we need to look like we know what we're doing.
It'll be hard to go through.
What, for him? You saying he's too big?
About a month before we started filming, Jared made sure we were all authentic, you know, looked legit. We knew what we were doing. He's a former Navy SEAL. Ray came along, same thing, and we did a bunch of training.
They're here to make sure that every time we handle a rifle, we do it right, we do it correctly. Our weapons discipline and tactics are all in line with what these folks do in real combat.
All right, so if I'm gonna break it down, I'm up, retention, and then I'm down. Looking left, looking right. When I come back up, same thing I've been teaching you guys, you're punching straight back out. Shoulder, lean in.
And I've done some of it before, but this was the most in-depth. We were there every day for maybe 3 weeks. It was like cowboy camp, but with military.
You know, I'm getting to talk to these real-life elite operators that they brought onto the set. I mean, just having that at your disposal makes it so much easier as an actor and so much fun.
You obviously have a really big responsibility when you do a role like this, and you have to take that responsibility as hard as you can because you're representing something that our country is only founded on but protected by, and something, to be honest, you can't really understand unless you're there.
Yep. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
We spent the first week just learning how to walk. You know, it sounds silly, but we're just the smallest little details.
Learning the configurations of the guns, learning the movement with the guns.
Learning how to clear houses, how to fire a rifle, how to handle a rifle, how to wear a tactical uniform. That's been a heck of an experience. It's something I've always wanted to do. Every actor wants to play Army. And that's what we're doing here. No joke about it. We're playing Army. We're just portraying these amazing folks. But to be as authentic as we can and get as close as we can to the reality has been such a gift.
That was badass! Woo!
We're taking away our sense of sight. We're adding in our sense of touch, right? So y'all remember what that feels like coming up? Boom, here.
When I got the call about it, I didn't know much about the project at all. Really, I had no idea what the project was. I just knew it was a Taylor Sheridan project, and so it was an instant yes. You know, there was no, hey, what's it about? Let's talk about it. Like, nope, where'd I sign? Let's do this. Let's go.
Coordinate with Jared and Ray, the military advisors, on what kind of training they want to accomplish and what weapons we want to try to use. With my background, I can assist them too in tactics and how to hold the weapon, the weapons presentation.
Right, I have it right here. Where I come up and it's the same thing every time. My head is on line, I'm looking down. I was a Navy SEAL for about 11 years, 4 deployments overseas. And so, you know, in the SEAL teams, we work in small groups. And coming on this project, you have the QRT team, and that teamwork is really everything. You know, you do everything you can to protect the person to the left and the right of you, you know. And so on this show, this team that we have, I've been able to see them come from nothing, you know, to starting day one to where they're at now, and seeing that transition and that camaraderie and how they've grown together as a group. And, you know, so it's very similar to coming from the SEAL teams and watching them and how they interact. It's just, it's kind of happened before my eyes, and it's cool. These are hard-working men and women that work and do everything they can to want to get it right.
We start out the basics, how to hold a rifle, how to hold a pistol, basic movements, moving through a house, clearing rooms, and then we expand now to tactics in the open, because that's where we're filming next. It's going to be the assault for the end of the show. So it's a little bit different. Tactics are involved, So we got to train with them while we're here to make sure we have that correct.
For me, how I like to do my training is kind of a crawl, walk, run scenario or progression. And so that's day one, putting the rifle in their hands, working on stance, building up to, being able to raise a rifle, shoot, then building up to shooting, moving, then building up to essentially being able to clear a house, and so that was a progression with them, and every one of them has showed up from day one, hungry, eager to learn. They have busy schedules as soon as filming started, and so then we just had to work in the training when we could, but it's nonstop through this entire project. The training has been nonstop, and so they're learning the skill sets, and then they now know how to apply them on set. And then on the day when we're filming, then we learn the choreography and the steps and the movement, but they have all the skill sets there, then they just apply it on the day. And it's the best group that I've seen that I've worked with that have been able to pick it up, learn it, and apply it confidently and, make it look right. Taylor's got a stud, his name is Brandon Meerbrook, that is a former operator as well, Green Beret, great guy. Taylor's right-hand man, and so him and I have really been able to work together, and he keeps his finger on the pulse of Taylor's thoughts and what Taylor likes and doesn't like, and then he's able to come and bring it here, and with his background and his knowledge, he's just kind of the perfect working partner on this to try to make it as real as possible.
All right, so a lot of our tactics in the SEAL teams are based off of striking. So when we come into a room, I like having control of my weapon, which is why I'm super deep. All right, if I'm here, somebody were to grab it, that's fine. I'm gonna drive that person right back in the room.
And I got a good buddy of mine, Ray Mendoza, who is a former SEAL as well. Him and I served together, worked together on Terminal List and a couple other projects that he's on this project as well. And so we get stretched thin with, the amount of authenticity that needs to be covered down on. So having those two fellas is, it's just heaven sent,
Gear up. You're green. Yes, ma'am. New deal. Weapons free. We clear the scene.
When do we move?
Right now.
I think my favorite moment so far has been when we're going to the Al-Qaeda house to do our job, and we're running as the team, as the actors, we're running along with these SUVs, and it's nighttime through this neighborhood, and like all of a sudden, I kind of look around and I see all of this, and I'm like, this is so cool. We are so cool right now, thinking like this is the stuff I used to do when I was little. Like I used to play with my brother like this, but this is it.
The team goes in and, does this quiet hit, and they're in and out, and their tactics are on point, so that was really kind of like the graduating moment for me to see this team needing very little instruction. We went over the choreography, and then they went and they did it, and it was, I would say that's one of the coolest moments I've had in this industry, seeing that team work and operate the way they did, just confident, cool, going in there quiet, making it happen.
And by the time we went into filming, we were all like a well-oiled machine, and it blended in.
If you're gonna go watch a show about surgery, you wanna have a doctor advising to tell those actors, hey, this is exactly how you do it. The military stuff is no different. It's often gotten wrong. So I think when it is right, military people can appreciate it and can appreciate the time and energy that went into doing it correctly.